So, Apple's new iPhone lineup, it's not just another upgrade. Seriously, this feels like a total rethink of what an iPhone even is. With four very different new models, the choices are way more interesting and maybe a little more complicated than they've ever been. So we're going to break down every little detail to figure out which one is the perfect one for you. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll meet the whole new family. Then we're going to dive deep and compare everything from the gorgeous new displays and the super powerful chips to the camera systems and, of course, battery life. And at the end, we'll put it all together to help you find your perfect match. All right, let's get right to it and meet the new crew. This year, Apple's giving us four really distinct options. You've got the standard iPhone 17, a brand new super slim model called the Air, the workhorse 17 Pro, and the absolute top-of-the-line 17 Pro Max. And you can see right away what Apple's thinking here. It's all about positioning. The iPhone 17, starting at $799, is clearly the new default choice for most of us. The Air is this new design-first statement piece, and then you have the Pro and Pro Max, which are aimed squarely at creators and anyone who just wants the most powerful phone they can get. Okay, let's move on to the displays. And this is where things get really interesting, because there's one massive upgrade that kind of ties the whole lineup together. It's a feature people have been begging for, and it's finally here. And here it is, the magic number, 120 Hz. Yep, you heard that right. ProMotion technology is finally standard on every single model. That means the screen refreshes 120 times a second, which is double what it used to be. Every scroll, every swipe, every animation just feels unbelievably smooth. This is a game changer for the standard iPhone. And oh, it doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. All four phones are getting the same top-tier display tech. We're talking a massive leap in brightness for when you're outdoors, and always on display for everyone, and this new ceramic shield that's 3 times tougher against scratches. So the bottom line is, no matter which iPhone 17 you pick, you're getting an absolutely killer screen. But, size still matters, right? The standard 17 and the 17 Pro, they're rocking that sweet spot at 6.3 inches. If you want something a bit bigger, the Air bumps up to 6.5 inches. And for those who want a screen that's basically a movie theater in their pocket, the Pro Max is a gigantic 6.9 inches. Okay, so we've seen where all these phones are on the same page. But now we get to the first big split in the road. And it's all about the processor. This is where that Pro name really starts to mean something. So the lineup is literally split in two by the chip inside. The standard iPhone 17 gets the brand new A19, which is no slouch, with 8 gigs of RAM. But the Air, the Pro, and the Pro Max, they all get the beastly A19 Pro. And that Pro gets you way more. 12 gigs of RAM for smoother multitasking, an extra graphics core for gaming, and special hardware that makes AI stuff run up to 3 times faster. So 40% better sustained performance, what does that even mean in the real world? Well, it's all about keeping cool under pressure. The Pro models have this new internal cooling system that stops the phone from getting hot and slowing down when you're doing really intense stuff, like playing a heavy-duty game or editing high-res video. All right, let's talk about what might be the single most important feature for a lot of you, the cameras. This is probably the biggest battleground for any new phone, and this year the choices are, well, they're really distinct. We're talking everything from a super minimalist single lens to a legit zoom powerhouse. Just look at this table. You can see the story unfold right here. The base 17 gives you an awesome dual camera setup with a main and an ultra wide. Now the Air makes a trade-off for that thin design. It only has a single main camera. But then you get to the Pro models, and they've got the whole shebang. A triple lens system with that all-important telephoto lens. And that telephoto lens, that's where we get to this one. Absolutely incredible number. 8 times. We're talking 8x times optical zoom on the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. That's double what we had before. For anyone who's serious about their photos, this is a total game changer. It lets you get so much closer without losing any quality. And hey, there are some really great upgrades that pretty much everyone gets to enjoy. The front camera, it's getting a huge bump to 18 megapixels with center stage, so it keeps you perfectly in frame on video calls. You can now actually record from the front and back cameras at the same time. And maybe best of all, the starting storage has finally been doubled to 256 gigs on every single model. Okay, specs are one thing, but what about how these phones actually feel? How do they last through a real day? Let's get into the design, the materials, and of course, the all-important battery life. First up, we have to talk about the iPhone Air. Get this, it is 5.6 millimeters thin. I mean, that is just insane. It's the thinnest iPhone ever made, period. It's made of titanium, and it feels almost weightless. It's a serious piece of engineering. But, and there's always a but, that incredible thinness comes at a cost. And that cost is battery life. The Air gets about 27 hours of video playback. The standard 17 and Pro will easily get you through a full day. But the undisputed king here is the Pro Max, with a staggering 39 hours. That is the best battery life we have ever seen in an iPhone.
Let's quickly run through a few other key differences. Materials-wise, the base 17 is your classic aluminum and glass. The Air, as we said, is titanium. The Pro models have this slick aluminum unibody that houses that special cooling system we talked about. And notice the USB speeds. The Pro models get super fast USB 3, which is a huge deal if you're a creator moving big files around.
Okay, we have gone through all the specs, all the features, all the nitty-gritty details. So now for the biggest question of all. Which one of these phones is actually right for you? Let's figure it out. Let's start with the iPhone 17. Look, this is pretty simple. This is the phone for most people. If you want that buttery smooth ProMotion display and a killer all-around camera without totally emptying your wallet, this is it. It's the best value, hands down. Okay, who's the iPhone Air for? This is for the person who puts design and feel above everything else. If you just want a stunning, incredibly thin and light phone, and you're cool with a single, really great camera, the Air is your go-to. It's a fashion statement. Then we have the iPhone 17 Pro. This is the creator's machine. It's for anyone who looks at that 8x zoom and just gets it. You need pro-level camera tools, you need max performance for your apps, but you want it all in a size you can still actually use day to day. This is your phone. And last but certainly not least, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Who's this for? It's for the person who walks in and says, give me the best of everything, no compromises. The biggest screen, the longest battery life, the most advanced camera. If that's you, the Pro Max is your phone. So that brings us to the big question, right? With 4 really different models, all aimed at different people, has Apple finally built an iPhone for absolutely everyone? Or have they just made the choice a whole lot harder? Something to chew on.